He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
On through Wednesday, the hump day of the week, and we prepare to transition from that. And we welcome you to a Wednesday edition of the program here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Craig Way Show. My name is Craig Way. Glad to have you with us. And it is under the most normal of circumstances, and sometimes not even that normal, that our producer is Cameron D. Parker. But Cam is not with us today. He'll be with us this evening. He's not with us right now. The reason for that is Cam is also our mastermind engineer on site for Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark. And our first seasonal edition of the program of Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark comes your way tonight. Comes your way tomorrow night on the air. If you'd like to see the program as it is being recorded, then you'll want to be at Pluckers tonight, the West Campus location at 2222 Rio Grande. We'll be there. The show runs from 6 to 7 p.m. That's when we record the program. It will air here tomorrow on the Zone. Normally it's 7 o'clock, but tomorrow it'll be 5 o'clock because we have Round Rock Express baseball at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So, again, if you want to see Coach Sark and be there present for the show taping, if you will, the recording, that's at 6 o'clock at Pluckers, the West Campus location. And then it'll air tomorrow, late afternoon, tomorrow, 5 o'clock here on the Zone. So, without Cameron Parker here, how does this thing operate? Well, it's once again left in the capable hands of our sixth man. He's bound to win an NBA Sixth Man of the Year, or at least a broadcasting Sixth Man of the Year. Andrew Zimmel, fresh up from the Alamo City. How are you?
When the Hall of Famer says you're the sixth man, it makes you smile. I got dimples going here, Craig. I feel pretty good.
You got dimples regardless.
I'm feeling good here as the sixth man. No, capable hands for sure. And Cam and you both wear so many different hats. It's impressive.
Well, it all rolls into the same thing ultimately. Remember when your mom would make a dinner for you and you didn't like it if the gravy kind of rolled into the green beans. And you said, the gravy's kind of rolling in. And she would say, go ahead and eat it. It all ends up in the same place. That's kind of how we are with that. A lot of that winds up in the same place. Here's what we have for you in the program this afternoon. Coming up in a few minutes, fresh audio, if you will, from Steve Sarkisian. Sark, here's one of the great things about going into the SEC. The SEC has what the Big 12 used to have and what the Southwest Conference had for many years, and that is a league-wide coaches conference call. They have one day a week on that. It happens to be on Wednesday, where media from all over the country, and certainly in all of the SEC outlets, can dial in to this number and to a specific number, and then they hear from each of the head coaches, all 16 of them in the Southeastern Conference. And it starts like mid-morning and goes to like right around noon time or even a little bit afternoon. And Sark is one of the ones who participates in that. All of the head coaches in SEC football take part in that. So it is kind of a throwback, and it is kind of the more things stay, the change, the more they remain the same. And maybe it does fall yet another thing into that category of quote unquote, it just means more, whatever. But we will hear from Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian coming up here in just a few minutes. Also today on the program, in the first couple hours for sure, we'll hear from Jay Norvell. He is the coach at Colorado State. You may remember Jay's time. He had been an assistant here at Texas in the middle part of the last decade. A great guy, and trying to get things rolling as he begins his third season in Fort Collins, Colorado, as the head coach of the Colorado State Rams, the opponent for Texas on Saturday in the season opener. So we'll hear from Jay Norvell as well. This hour, as always, we have Inconceivable. We'll bring that to you. And so we'll hear different things of that nature. We've got some baseball notes to get to and some pro football notes as well. We'll do that from 2 to 4. And then, as I mentioned, he ain't the sixth man of the year for nothing. Andrew Zimmel will take the wheel in that 4 o'clock hour as I make my way over to Pluckers to get prepared and get ready for Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark. So we'll jump right into it. So, Andrew, tell folks a little bit about, you talk about us wearing many hats. Describe for the folks a little bit about your daily routine on a day. But first, describe what a day is like, what you do in San Antonio when you don't come to Austin.
The rare time I'm not coming to Austin.
Yeah, I was going to say, the times when you do come to Austin.
So on a normal day, I'm waking up at 3 a.m., showering, shaving, go into the studio. We get on air around 5. So we do a little bit of a pre-show meeting, make sure we have all the audio. WAI, the news leader in San Antonio.
And your role is?
I'm a producer, producer, not the producer, a producer, many producers, many different hats. But we make sure that, the show sounds good. We're pulling clips from different people and making sure we are pretty on YouTube. I know you guys got the nice YouTube stream going as well.
And this is this is for folks who don't know, WAI, your big news leader there, and you got your big morning drive block.
Oh yeah, no, we're from 5 to 9, so 4-hour block. And also the home of the Longhorns too.
Absolutely.
OAI.
The Spurs.
And
and Cowboys games, right?
Yeah.
And I of course I cut my teeth in my early years of professional radio 40 years ago. In fact, working at an all news station, KRLD up
That's
in
hard
Dallas.
to believe because you look not a day over 35.
Well, thank you very much. So that's so I understand the electricity of a newsroom and a news block in morning drive.
Oh, it's a different animal, same beast type of feel, Craig, right? Because we're worried about, what's Norvell going to say? What's Sarkisian going to say? Hey, we need to make, and I'm on the other side of things now where it's like every press conference, it's an election year, you add on that. So there's a lot going on over there.
So when you don't, and we've been tugging on your sleeve and having you come up here and serve more here in recent months. But on those rare occasions, I guess of late, where you don't have to come up to Austin, so you work there and then you're just kind of chilling.
So I get off at noon and then I'm in bed by 12:30 because I got to get my 2-hour beauty nap.
There you
go.
And
then I wake up around 2. You got another 3 hours to do whatever you need to do, grocery shop, laundry, whatever. And then you're back in bed by 7 if you want to get your full 8 hours.
Okay.
So that's why I have this great tan going.
Yeah, I see that. All right. So let me ask you this. How do you deal with, once we get in the NBA season, knowing what a Spurs guy you are, knowing what you have to do and the time you have to get up? How do you deal with a Spurs game at night?
I'll tell you, East Coast, Central Time, beautiful. We love to see it. West Coast, that's where it gets a little tricky because if that game ends at 10 and I'm getting up at 3, if it's the Warriors or Lakers, maybe.
What if it's tipping at 9?
Yeah.
You got a game in Sacramento tipping at 9-10. Are you down for that?
Those are tough ones. Playoff game, maybe. Regular season in March.
Not so
probably
much.
Not doing it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to let folks know. And then so this also has me asking you another question. This kind of falls, in the midst of your nap time. So how you holding up?
So I knew I was coming up here, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I gave myself a little bit extra of nap time.
Okay.
And then I made 2 pots of coffee this morning.
There you go.
I'm juiced. 5 o'clock when we're sitting on 35 traffic, though, after the show, Craig, that's when, if you see me asleep at the wheel, honk. Okay?
That's when it'll be.
Yeah.
That's when it'll be. Okay. All right. But we do have him for this afternoon for the program here, and so that's a good thing. All right. Coming up here on the program, we're going to hear from Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian. Like I said, it's from the SEC conference call, a season opening conference call. So you'll get a chance. We want to give you a sample. Most weeks, what we're going to do is we'll just kind of slice it and dice it, and you'll hear just sound bites from that. And that's what you're going to hear from Jay Norvell, by the way, from his news conference, because Andrew dived into that and cut it up for us. But I wanted for this first one to let you hear how this dynamic plays out. So we're going to let you hear how the reporters and the instructions that go on, and you'll hear Sark commenting on that. It makes for interesting listening. So we've got that coming up. Got a lot to go to get to here on the program this afternoon, and glad to have you with us here on a Wednesday afternoon. I always say this, if Wednesday is truly your hump day like us, good on you, and hopefully you get over the hump, get down the hill. For many folks, Wednesday might only mean Monday, or it might mean your Friday. So good on you for that, if that's the case. But hope your Wednesday's going well regardless. And we'll hear from Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian coming up when we continue on Sports Radio AM 13 Under the Zone.
Need a pregame spot for Texas versus Colorado State? Come out to the Hook'em Hangout on Bevo Boulevard for Longhorns Game Day, the official pregame show of Texas football with Cameron Parker, Mike Harge, and Mark Henry.
We're going to have so much fun breaking down this game. You never know who you're going to run into either.
And they also have great food on that campus, and I can't wait to sample all of it.
Coverage starts at 11:30 a.m. on AM 1300, The Zone.
Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, and $1,000.
Zimmel Arena here in Las Vegas, September 20th and 21st.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com. One of the most anticipated live music events of the year.
You have to see this to believe it.
Brought to you by Hyundai's lineup of electric vehicles, electrifying your summer and your journey to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
For some, soccer is just a sport, but for those of us who are both 100% Hispanic and 100% American, it's a passion that we live at 200%. That's why Buchanan's is there, proudly matching the energy of all Austin FC fans. From the stands of our stadium to our home, Buchanan's Blended Scotch is the official whiskey for all of us who give it 200%. Enjoy responsibly. Buchanan's 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Diageo, New York, New York. Buchanan's, give it 200%.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Step your lunch game up at Twin Peaks.
Wait on those questions. If you could take a moment to comment on your team as you enter and prepare for the season opener.
Salad and variety of
Will you have any players who will be...
Enjoy your next lunch break at Twin Peaks. Twin
They're
Peaks,
supposed to
eats,
identify
drinks,
themselves.
scenic view.
Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro. Lenovo. Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
My hair is thinning. I'm starting to go bald.
Happy Head is here for you. We know how much your hair means to you, so let us help you grow it back. Visit happyhead.com now for a prescription strength treatment. See results in as little as 3 to 6 months. Regrow your hair today using dermatologist-formulated solutions. Get ahead of hair loss with Happy Head.
Really, because it's a
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and only available if a physician determines a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details and important safety information.
At In-N-Out, we like to think of ourselves as the vintage muscle car of burgers. After all, both are handcrafted, made with an appreciation for every detail. One with the finest materials, the other with the freshest ingredients. And seeing either one brings a smile to your face. Muscle cars and double doubles are all American classics, and both are gone in seconds.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite van fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 5,000 people died in workplace accidents in 2019 alone. Thomas J. Henry handles serious workplace accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Eat like a king who's on a budget.
Burger King's $5 Your Way meal is packed with flavor. Choose between 3 tasty options like the Whopper Jr., Chicken Jr., or Bacon Cheeseburger. Plus, enjoy fries, a drink, and nuggets on the side. Now that's delicious.
You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Price of participation vary. U.S. only. Features 4-piece nuggets, value drinking fries. Restrictions apply.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So, for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Another insurance story from
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
It's raining inside.
Yeah, pipes burst, but we're covered with renter's insurance from Smart Bunny.
Get up to $100,000 of personal liability coverage and up to $40,000 of contents insurance for as low as $15 a month. Hop on the Smart Bunny app for some renter's insurance. Smart Bunny Insurance.
Smart Bunny. Smart Bunny.
Your insurance super app. Insurance is sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services and underwritten by various companies. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Truck City Ford in Buda has made it simple. Go online. Pick yours at truckcityford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Truck City Ford in Buda has made buying a new Ford simple.
Kickoff is almost here, and iHeart is the official home of the NFL Podcast Network, featuring podcasts like NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal.
Packing it with so much goodness. Chock full of info.
And tons of fantasy football podcasts with expert advice for you to win your fantasy league. It's the best part of the season. Your team is undefeated and anything is possible. Take the iHeartRadio app and the NFL with you right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hartball Harge and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster, Craig Way.
Listen, even in the absence of Cameron Parker, when we have a producer on the board on Wednesday, that producer knows that it's a Yacht Rock Wednesday. And that means the great Christopher Cross to lead us off. A ride like to win. San Antonio resident, Austin resident. Dude is from around here, and this was his big breakthrough hit in 1980. Ride like to win. So there we go. It's a Yacht Rock Wednesday. And a good way to lead off a Yacht Rock Wednesday here on the program. All right. As I mentioned, Longhorns head coach Steve Sarkisian, that we get, a number of opportunities to visit with Sark. There's the Monday press conference, which we bring to you live every Monday. That's part of our Longhorns Monday presentation. Starts at 11 a.m. And by the way, that includes Labor Day. We're laboring. We work. I haven't not worked on a Labor Day since the mid 80s, I'd say, late 80s.
So you labor on a Labor Day.
I always have, because
it's sports season. It doesn't end.
Yeah. And in specific, usually for me, football season, and there's usually a Monday press conference, regardless of the fact that it's a holiday, because coaches, as we know in football programs, are in their routines. And Monday is the day to do their media. their big media session anyway. So we'll bring that to you on Monday as part of our Longhorns Monday coverage, starting at 11 a.m. as Mike Hardball Harge and also lifetime Longhorn Will Matthews, our sideline reporter on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield. Will is. So Will and Harge will join me on Mondays, along with Ken Parker over there on campus. And we start at 11, and we'll update the rankings and talk about a little review of the Longhorn game and some other things. And then we'll bring you Steve Sarkisian's weekly news conference live at the bottom of the hour at 11:30. That's what we did last Monday. That's what we'll do each week. So that's on Monday. So that's the first available opportunity for Sark. Tuesday is normally we hear from players, and we did yesterday. Wednesday now is this SEC coaches conference call. And then on Thursday, Sark does one more media availability for the local media, and we'll hear from that on Thursday. Then, of course, Thursday nights is when Longhorn Weekly airs with me and the head coach, and we'll have a segment of that. We'll bring you the program on Thursday nights. This week is at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but most Thursdays will be 7 o'clock. And then on Friday's show, we'll bring you some highlights from that show. So you get a chance to hear from the head coach a lot. He's quite accessible to us. And that includes his first ever SEC coaches conference call. Now, we wanted you to hear how this whole thing operates. These coaches get on the phone, they call from someplace, and usually their media relations director has it like on hold waiting until they hear that someone's up. Then they hand the phone to the coach. Then the coach is on. And then there is a press conference moderator who instructs the coach, who instructs the media, and then you'll hear that. So here it is, without further ado, Steve Sarkisian's first ever participation in the in-season SEC coaches teleconference.
Wait on those questions. If you could take a moment to comment on your team as you enter and prepare for the season opener on Saturday.
Well, I'd just like to start by saying it's exciting that, the college football season's kicked off and underway. We're obviously really excited about our team opening up our season in DKR Saturday at 2:30. Should be a great event celebrating 100 years of Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium, having an opportunity to honor us, our athletic department winning the Directors Cup a year ago, honoring the national champions from last year, and also honoring all of the Olympians from the University of Texas from this past summer in Paris.
Coach, will begin with Terry Middleton of Horns Illustrated.
Coach Sarkisian, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. So you had talked in the past how you are absolutely obsessed with winning championships, and also that a team will a lot of times inherit what the coach's direction and feelings are on the game. And I'm curious if you have seen this in the players and in the team. Have they adopted that obsession for winning and winning championships? And how have you seen that played out in the spring and the summer?
Well, I think, since we got back from New Orleans last year, we've had a very hungry football team, a team that has been, not just hungry, but obsessed with getting back to that moment and trying to further themselves and compete for a national championship. And like I said, we've got great leadership on this team. We've got a lot of veteran players that have been in this program for 3 and 4 years that have an idea of what it takes to get back there. And they've done a great job of leading our younger players, which are very talented younger players, of what the demands are and how we hold people accountable, and the discipline that it takes, and the mental and physical toughness and the commitment that it takes. And so all those things add up to, I feel very comfortable with the fact that our team is hungry and in working towards trying to be champions this fall.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Chip Brown of Horns 24/7.
Hey, Steve, just checking in to see, will you have any players who will be unavailable for Saturday's game?
No, we're good to go.
Is that all, Chip?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Travis Gailey of Orange Bloods.
Hey, Coach, 2 quick questions for you. One, is there any area of the team that you you're still unsure of heading into week one?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, but I'm going to go with I feel really good about our team, but I question every aspect of our team. I question us as coaches. I mean, that's the life of a coach. You want to make sure you leave no stone unturned, and that you make sure that all of your coaches are prepared schematically, and you've got your contingency plans ready. You want to make sure that all of your players are prepared, physically, emotionally, schematically, fundamentally, and that you have your contingency plans, prepared. And so, unfortunately, that's a little bit of the life of a coach. I think the moment you start getting comfortable, like we're just good, I feel like that's the moment that's when you get beat. And so we try to stay on our toes, and we never use the adage, the hay's in the barn around here. We try to keep grinding and keep working, up until that ball's kicked off.
Fair enough. And then the other thing is you went through your walkthrough last week. You had the guys go through the game day preps. So I apologize for this question, but I'm curious, do you have your game day outfits ready to go? And are we going to see a change up this year compared to the past?
That's a great question. No, I love dressing for game day. I think for me, that's all part of Saturday after Saturdays, like I touched on in the press conference, a couple days ago, that like I love Saturdays in the fall. And part of Saturdays in the fall for me is that I get to play dress up. I get to wear some of the things that maybe I don't get to wear on a daily basis as a coach. And I look forward to doing that. And I think our players do too. And so we enjoy that aspect of it as well.
Next, we'll go to Joe Cook of Inside Texas.
Hey, Sark, I don't know if you heard, but I just asked Coach Lee about this, and he's calling plays on defense for Vanderbilt. Obviously, you call plays for Texas. So I'm just kind of curious, when you're not on offense and you are being the head coach, what is your involvement with the coach-to-player communication as far as when your team's on defense, when PK's calling plays, that type of thing? Are you listening? Are you offering suggestions? Just kind of curious throughout camp and throughout learning what this technology is like, what your involvement is in that type of communication.
Well, I think naturally, we've always had the ability to communicate as a staff. Okay. So generally speaking, when we go to defense, I click over to defense and I'm on with them while the offensive coaches are reviewing the previous drive. And then somewhere in there, in between plays, different times, I start clicking back and forth, which is a pretty seamless process. I've been doing this for a little bit of time now, so I have the ability to kind of click back and forth. Naturally, PK calls it. I try to do my best not to meddle with him and allowing him to find his rhythm. That's definitely one of his strengths is calling defenses. I do try to offer some things as far as, formations or different things that look either consistent with what they did or might be inconsistent. That might be a new wrinkle, and maybe some certain plays that they might have coming off of some of those formations or personnel groupings. And there are times, when I might recommend a thing or two there, but quite frankly, it's more about allowing him to find his rhythm to call it. My communication with the players defensively is really not. He's the one that's calling the plays. I have the ability to do that, but quite frankly, it's really going to be more about PK communicating with those guys more so than me. He's the guy that's going to be calling the plays.
And then just to follow up on that, you've been with Coach Zimmel for a good amount of time now. You value quarterback. You call it the most important position in sports. So how much trust do you have with Coach Milwee to talk with Quinn and any other quarterback that's in the game?
The utmost confidence in him. He's with those guys every day in the media room, on the field. He's with them on the sidelines during the games. So their rapport, their relationship is one that I have a ton of respect for and value. I know he's also a great conduit for me. I think he thinks a lot like me, and so a lot of times he can convey things to the quarterbacks of either things that I've said or things that I'm thinking for the next series. So yeah, ton of confidence and ton of respect for Coach Milwee and the job that he does with all of our QBs.
Coach, we'll sneak in one more. We'll go with Thomas Jones of the Austin American Statesman.
Coach, good afternoon. You're obviously familiar with the SEC, but you're kind of the new kid on the block now.
What's it like with some of your friends that you've worked with? How was the summer? Are they hazing you or anything? Coach Kiffin giving you any grief?
Not really. I think, they know I've got a ton of respect for them and their programs. I probably might be a little different if Coach Saban was still in the league, and what that would feel like and look like. But again, a lot of the guys that I know in the conference, whether it be Lane or Kirby or Coach Stoops or Billy, and a lot of great guys. Coach DeBoer I've known now for some time with the time he spent at Washington. So ton of respect for everybody. And it just kind of feels like the right time to be joining the SEC a little bit with Coach Saban kind of retiring and us coming into the league. We know it's going to be a great challenge, obviously. And so that's why I said very early on, like, nothing but respect for the programs and the teams and the schools that we've got to compete against. But on the same token, here at the University of Texas, the standard is the standard. And our job is to compete for championships year in and year out, regardless of the conference. So, yes, it's a new conference, but the standard hasn't changed.
Coach, thank you for your time and welcome to the SEC.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
There it is. So that's how that works. You listen to the conference call, and those are the reporters ask. I did like the one question about the wardrobe thing, though. Sark was down with that.
See, I like the question about, are you getting hazed? I thought that was kind of funny. Like, hey, is Lane Kiffin calling you in the middle of the night and hanging up on the phone? Yeah. No, I don't think he is. No. Hey, is your refrigerator running, Sark? Yeah.
Yeah, right. You better go check on it, right? Yeah, that whole bit. So that's basically how it works. There's no grand mystery thing or, about the reporters visiting with him and things like that. So there's none of that. But that's pretty much how the process works on a Wednesday on a conference call. And that just happens to be Sark's first ever in-season SEC conference call. We'll be back to regular types of audio from him tomorrow with his Thursday meeting with the local media. And so we'll have some sound from that as well. And again, a reminder, if you're interested in being there for Longhorn Weekly, for the show recording of that is tonight when we record it at Pluckers, the West Campus location at 2222 Rio Grande. We record from 6 to 7. It'll air tomorrow afternoon at 5. All right, up next, Inconceivable here on Sports Radio AM 13 Under the Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio AM 1300, the Zone host. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Sports Radio AM 1300, the Zone presents the Morning Kickoff Show.
Start your morning with some laughs with the Morning Kickoff with Mike Hardball Hart and Mark. And if you're not ready to laugh, do you want to answer to Mark? Better not. Let's get started. Tune in 7 to 9 a.m. right here on AM 1300 The Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Mike Hardball Hart and Mark Henry weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
If you're looking for something truly original that captures the one-of-a-kind spirit of Austin, check out my friends at Zilker Belts. Beautiful handcrafted belts and accessories which weave together the best of Texas and South America from a couple of close friends who love our town of Austin, along with handmade craftsmanship from Argentina. You can also show your University of Texas pride with the Texas X's belt and help support your alma mater in the process. As they like to say, community is woven into everything we do. Use code Longhorns for 25% off your next purchase at ZilkerBelts.com.
For some, soccer is just a sport, but for those of us who are both 100% Hispanic and 100% American, it's a passion that we live at 200%. That's why Buchanan's is there, proudly matching the energy of all Austin FC fans. From the stands of our stadium to our home, Buchanan's Blended Scotch is the official whiskey for all of us who give it 200%. Enjoy responsibly. Buchanan's 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Diageo, New York, New York. Buchanan's, give it 200%.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body?
Hey, Bulldog.
The first is my heart.
And you just
Old
hit
Spice.
Well,
men have skin
that's
too.
not coming out of the break.
Old Spice super hydration
ending
body
the hour,
wash.
going in the top of your
24/7
table.
renewing moisture with daily use.
In today's Marketers Report,
Hour
Kate
two,
Cronin,
you have
Chief Brand Officer of
IGY,
Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the number one
time
audio
out of
company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
For when you come out of the last break.
Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff.
All that stuff in there? Okay.
To recap, number 1, customize and save.
All right, you know what?
Number 2, time allowing, save me.
Song do we want to do?
Well, shoulders separating.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, Texas fans, Hardball Harge here. Are you ready for an action-packed season? Thomas J. Henry Law is thrilled to be a part of the action, sponsoring all Texas football game broadcasts. The athletes give it their all on the field. Thomas J. Henry and over 250 attorneys give it their all when it comes to helping you and your families get the justice you deserve. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, dedication, strategy, and teamwork is crucial. For over 30 years, Thomas J. Henry Law has been committed to securing meaningful results for the injured people and their families. This year, they're inviting the communities that they serve to join in celebrating 30 years of client success with major community events and giveaways. After all, their law firm would be nothing without the communities and the individuals they serve. Visit tjhlaw.com to find out more. If you or your loved one have been injured, their attorneys are available 24/7 to help you. They have a reputation and resources that can handle any case. Free consultations with no fees collected unless they win for you. Watch all the heart-pounding Texas action this season, sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Law. Tune in, get pumped. It's all about the win.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-529-2856. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-529-2856. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-529-2856. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life, call 800-529-2856.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank members of DIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Right now at Wendy's, you can get a small Frosty for $1, and literally everyone is going. The car behind you, going to get $1 Frosty. The car ahead of you, already had one, going for a second. The person who cut you off earlier, you guessed it, $1 Frosty.
And most weekends either.
Maybe it's all a sign for you to go get one. Just don't cut anyone off. No one likes that person. The iconic Frosty for a buck, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, California, and via third-party delivery.
We've been telling you for some time about our friend John Hardy and the folks at Divided Sky Roofing and Solar who've been great to work with if you need a new roof, whether it be from recent storm damage or just wear and tear. They'll be happy to come out for a free inspection, and they'll be upfront with you about what kind of damage you might have and if you can file a claim. You'll never pay more than your deductible. There's no upfront money required, and easy financing is available. No payment due on a Sunday until the day they start your job. And right now might be a great time to consider energy shingles. Adding solar power to your home is a great way to save a lot of money on your energy bills. Right now, you can upgrade your house to solar to make it more efficient, or add batteries to make your current system more efficient. There's also 0% down with low monthly payment options available. A reminder that energy efficient upgrades are tax deductible as well. Give my friends at Divided Sky a call today at 512-995-ROOF. That's 512-995-ROOF, or go to their website at mydividedsky.com. It's Divided Sky Roofing and Solar.
You're listening to Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Inconceivable! 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 You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
You know what? Andrew Zimmel knows what inconceivable means because he likes to participate, and he's got a couple of items we'll get to. First, however, Andrew, you may remember that what I usually like to do if we've got a fast food or a junk food update, we try to toss that into inconceivable. And I got one for you. Are you a fan of Dairy Queen?
Oh, I love Dairy Queen,
really?
Craig. Oh, love it.
Blizzard guy?
Of course. Come on.
Favorite Blizzard flavor?
Ooh, Snickers.
That's a good one. Can't go wrong with that. I like that. I like the Hawaiian one.
Oh, okay.
With the pineapple and coconut and stuff in it. But my favorite one is one that's not on the menu. It was on the menu at one I went to in Alpine way out in West Texas. It was banana, strawberries, and Vienna fingers cookies in there.
Rich for my blood.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. All right, but they now have a fall Blizzard menu out. Tell me if any of these resonate with you.
I'm a big guy, Craig. They're all going to resonate.
Really? All right, well, it would really resonate with you if you like pumpkin flavored things.
Ooh, little pumpkin spice action.
Are you up with that?
Yeah, I'm a Starbucks guy.
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, the newest item is the Caramel Java Chip Blizzard.
Ooh, okay.
Has coffee, which you could use this afternoon, Choco Espresso Crunch pieces, and caramel blended in the soft serve. All right. There's a pumpkin pie blizzard.
Okay.
There's a French silk pie blizzard.
Ooh.
Oreo fudge brownie. Sounds like it's something you'd be interested in.
You got my mouth watering.
Salted caramel truffle blizzard.
Ooh.
Reese's Pieces cookie dough blizzard. And Royal New York cheesecake blizzard.
You can't go wrong with cheesecake.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's seven new flavors there of that. Okay. Here's a sports related one. You remember Rich Hill, the pitcher?
Yeah.
He's like Methuselah on the mound.
Yeah.
He's back in baseball, Major League Baseball again at age 44.
Ooh.
The Red Sox have brought him back. Rich Hill will be doing his third tour of duty with the Red Sox. So all he has to do is pitch one time. They purchase his contract from their AAA club at Worcester, the Woo Sox. All he has to do is appear in one game, and it would make him the only active player to appear in a game in each of the past 20 seasons. Now, Rich Hill, assuming he does take the mound, would join former Boston teammate, the late Tim Wakefield, as the only pitchers to appear in a game for the Red Sox at age 44 or older. Wakefield holds the club mark at 45. So he is pitched for, would you care to guess how many teams?
I'm going to guess 10.
That's not a bad guess. You're short. 13.
Oh, wow. Lucky number 13.
One short of Edwin Jackson's major league record of 14. So Rich Hill back in the mix. All right.
So are they going to call it Over the Hill, the 90 pitches?
There you go. That'd be nice. All right. So you've got something here.
I do. Now, Craig, did you ever watch the Star Wars movies?
Absolutely.
So you know the Imperial March when
Absolutely.
Darth Vader shows up. Well, German warships, they blasted Darth Vader's anthem as they went into the heart of London. They had to come out and say there's no deeper meaning about this. So the German Navy said no deeper meaning in a choice to blast the famed Imperial March as the warships cruised down the River Thames through London this week. Bystanders captured the spectacle this past Monday, went viral on social media, of course. And then, of course, Germany has to come out and say, no hard feelings. We were just having fun.
We worked this out in advance.
Right, right.
That's why there's German warships cruising up the Thames River.
Yeah, not a good look. And, thank you for correcting me on the pronunciation of the
Thames?
river. Yeah,
okay.
See, I have just...
it's spelled Thames, pronounced Thames.
Pronunciation dyslexia is what we call it. So, what do you think about that? The Imperial March, the big bad villain, the Empire.
I absolutely love it. Except here's the thing: if they rolled those dreadnoughts up the Thames back in 14, and I'm not talking 2014, I'm talking 1914. That's right there in World War I. It might have scared the Brits a bit more than they might otherwise be frightened.
So they say the warship commander is a quote big Star Wars fan. Is there a song from a movie, Craig, that you think to yourself, man, I really wish I could play this as going into DKR?
Oh, like.
Your walk-up music almost.
I'd have to think about that.
Okay, well, we'll circle back.
Yeah, circle back to that. But that's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. All right, so you've been familiar with the ongoing brouhaha, Tate, dust up, everything that's happened with Jordan Childs and the bronze medal and the floor exercise at the Olympics.
Yes, she has it, she loses it, she has it, she loses it. Yeah.
Right. All right. So the latest is this other gymnast stepping in and saying she deserves to get the bronze. It was the other Romanian gymnast saying that she was given a point deduction, and it happened that she went. They said she went over the line and out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No, I didn't." And there's video evidence to show it. And now you have another gymnast, Dutch gymnast, Lieke Wevers has come forward with how the Federation of International Gymnastics can sometimes negatively impact athletes. During a podcast, she said, my right foot, my heel was just over the line, and the left foot definitely not. I was given up 0.3 instead of a 0.1. And if I didn't get that, I would have made the all-around final. The point of all of this is that they're pointing out is that this Federation of Gymnastics is all over the road and made massive mistakes in calculations and things like that. And it goes on. It's still not resolved yet with the Jordan Childs thing because the U.S. Olympic Committee is appealing to the Swiss High Tribunal to get the Court of Arbitration's ruling tossed out.
Mm-hmm.
And they've told her, hold on to your bronze medal. Do not return it. Meanwhile, the International Olympic Committee gave Romania the green light to stage their own bronze medal ceremony and give it to Ana Barbosu, the bronze. So she has one, and Jordan Childs has one, and the other Romanian gymnast says
she deserves one.
She deserves one too.
So we might have 3 third-place winners.
Or maybe I guess it'd be 3 because the Dutch gymnast only just would have made the all-around final. That wasn't the floor exercise. So you're right. And they were saying that, by the way, the gymnasts would just give us all 3 one.
Honestly.
And be done with it. Might be. You had something else?
I do. Now, did you ever play hooky when you were in school?
Once.
Did you ever get caught?
Well, one and a half times. One time I didn't get caught. The halftime I sneaked out to lunch. We were not allowed to have off-campus lunch. And I went out with a buddy of mine to Wiener King, restaurant where I later worked in high school, and we got busted on the way back.
So a 9-year-old boy was reported missing from school, playing a little hooky. And of course, when that goes out, everybody freaks out, the Amber Alerts. And the CBS station in New York got their chopper in the air, and you'll never guess who they found. The 9-year-old boy.
Really?
So the 9-year-old boy was caught skipping school on the CBS New York affiliate. The boy's parents called the police, put a description out of it, mentioned he was wearing an orange tie. CBS station sent a helicopter to the scene, And a reporter looking at the rooftop of the family's building notices a little boy in an orange tie. Quote, as my pilot Eric Ross and I were circling the building, we came across a person sitting on a chair over by the rooftop. We zoomed in the camera and it appeared to be a child that fit the description. So if you're ever going to get caught, that's tough. Get caught on TV, Craig, it's even worse.
So did the kid say what he was doing or why he played hooky?
It did not. They said the neighbor saw him across and it looked like he was drinking a coffee with his iPad. So
9-year-old having a latte while he was checking the stock market or something.
Enjoying his time off. He wanted summer just to last a little longer.
Maybe a while before he does that again. All right, we'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Need a pregame spot for Texas versus Colorado State? Come out to the Hook'em Hangout on Bevo Boulevard for Longhorns Game Day, the official pregame show of Texas football with Cameron Parker, Mike Harge, and Mark Henry.
We're going to have so much fun breaking down this game. You never know who you're going to run into either.
And they also have great food on that campus, and I can't wait to sample all of it.
Coverage starts at 11:30 a.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Hey, football fans. Craig Way here with Dan Christensen from DJC Law. Dan, thanks for being here.
You bet, Craig. Always a pleasure.
On the football field, we all know one player can't win a game alone. It takes a team. And when life throws a penalty flag your way, like a serious injury, having the right legal team calling the plays is crucial, isn't it?
Absolutely, Craig. At DJC Law, we build a winning team. We have over 20 lawyers with over 200 years combined experience and over $400 million in recoveries, protecting our clients and helping them get the justice they deserve. It's so easy to get us involved. We're available 24/7 nights and weekends. Just call 512-888-9999. You can come into either of our Austin offices, or we can come to you anytime, anywhere. Or you can do everything online from the comfort of your own home in just minutes. Just think of us as your go-to touchdown maker.
Dan, you've done a great job building a strong team, making DJC Law the MVP of personal injury law in Texas. For a free consult, visit teamjustice.com or call 512-888-9999.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Steel GMC and Round Rock. Hi, I'm Steve David, General Manager. Great deals are all we do here at Steel GMC. Our deal is upfront, honest, and a real deal. Not some overhyped web price that when you get there, vanishes like a 30-point lead. Come see us and get a real deal at Steel. Exit 256 in Round Rock, or see for yourself at SteelGMCRoundRock.com.
Shoppers first or shoppers last. Get a real deal from Steel.
We are professional grade.
Hi, this is Scott Bursing, running for the Texas House of Representatives in the November 5th general election. Remember that every vote counts, and you have to be registered. It's important for you to register to vote today, and make sure you get out and vote.
Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro. Lenovo. Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation. Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card? Uh-huh. Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase. Really? Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is almost here. We dropped the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale this Thursday through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Hey, Central Texas, Jenny Covered here at Cover Chevrolet in Bastrop. Summer's winding down, but our savings are heating up. Right now, we've got an amazing, extensive inventory just in time for end-of-summer shopping and back-to-school savings. How about $12,000 off MSRP on select 2024 Silverado half tons? Yep, you heard that right. $12,000 off. At Cobra Bastrop, we have 15 acres of cars and trucks to choose from, all at that famous low Cobra price. Cobra Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive.
If you're looking to make a statement about Austin and the University of Texas, might I suggest a beautiful handcrafted belt for my friends at Zilker Belts. We're talking about craftsmanship that is classy and attractive and available in a couple of unique styles. A classic brown leather with burnt orange and white stitching, or the new black suede belt with burnt orange and white details. It's also a good way to give back to the Texas Exes. As the folks at Zilker Belts will tell you, community is woven into everything we do. Use code Longhorns for 25% off your next purchase. Check them out in Austin and online at zilkerbelts.com.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET-AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music.
It's the morning kickoff show with Mike Hardball Harge and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone.
Championship.
Welcome back to the Craig Way Show and the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Follow Craig on social media at Horn Voice.
All right, I got a question for you here, Andrew, since you're of the younger group, since you just turned 27. You're familiar with this tune, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Dreams from Fleetwood Mac off that mega album they had in 1977, the Rumors LP. And it fits right into the yacht rock genre. But tell the truth. Did you become familiar with that tune through that YouTube video with the dude on the skateboard drinking the ocean spray cranberry juice?
I'll one up you. I knew the song, but then it became popular on TikTok, actually. I knew it from TikTok. Yeah.
That was it. It was from TikTok. Yeah. The guy is he's just zigging and zagging and sipping on some cranberry juice.
Yeah, ocean spray cranberry juice. Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, honestly, it got me more into cranberry juice than it did Fleetwood Mac.
Look at you. Do you like cranberry juice?
I do now. Yeah.
I've never been a big cranberry juice fan. However, I like cran apple. Get that on the plane a lot. I love cran grape. I get that a lot. Just the straight cranberry juice, it kind of just, it's a little too tart for me, I guess. And I don't mind tart drinks. I love a really good lemonade, but not so much for limeade. I don't like limeade. It's a little too tart.
A little too tart. Okay. But none of this you'll drink before Saturday's game.
Maybe some lemonade.
Yeah. I would. Again,
and I wouldn't mind a cran grape or a cran apple. What I try to do is not have too much in the way of caffeinated, carbonated beverages because the syrup will lay on your vocal cords. And even caffeine constricts the vocal cords, but still have to have coffee on Saturday morning. So try to have a cup there. And occasionally I'll have one there in the press box there. They have a big coffee urn there. And I'll have a cup at halftime or something like that. Now, Saturday, even if it's not mid to upper 90s, even if we get what some of the meteorologists are projecting, which is high 80s to low 90s with a chance of rain. I don't know that I'd be going with hot coffee that much, but it's going to be a little warm.
I've always been a water guy. Now, I'm not the great Craig Way, but I'm
always throwing down water.
Fair share of games. I'm a water guy. I cannot drink anything else. Coffee. I have to drink either ice water or room temperature water.
That's the best thing. It's the best thing for you. Yeah. I do it as well pretty much during the game. That's what I'm doing to keep the vocal
tips
cords.
with Craig Way.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Hour number 2 of this 3-hour extravaganza. comes your way. Coming up, we're going to hear from Jay Norvell, the former Longhorn assistant coach, now entering his third season as the head football coach at Colorado State, the opponent for Texas on Saturday. That's coming up in hour number 2.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET-AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Second hour of the program here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Here with you on a Wednesday afternoon. Craig Way, joined by Andrew Zimmel, the producer today. Cameron Parker is real busy with the setup going on over at Pluckers because we have our season premiere of Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark coming up. Yet another one of those signpost mile markers here that we're getting close to the start of football season. I had another one of those earlier today. My two broadcast partners on Longhorn football games, Roger Wallace and also Will Matthews. Roger, of course, joins me as the broadcast analyst, and Will Matthews as the sideline reporter. And the three of us participated in a lunch. It's I think it was the 26th annual lunch for the Greater Austin Automobile Dealers Association. And they have a lunch every year, and they might have a coach or they have one of us come. I've done this before. And so they had the three of us out to talk about the coming football season. And it's always real interesting to hear the perspective of a former player. That's why we really enjoy having Will Matthews on the broadcast, because he can lend that ex-player perspective. And as Will pointed out, and I try not to think about this too much, but it's always a possibility on a given Saturday, that if the Longhorns lose a game, it is Will who the players first see when they come in after, they've gone in and Sark talks to the team, win or lose, after the game in the locker room. And then some players go to one media room and do the thing. Other players just go and shower and get dressed. And then there's some others who come and do our post-game show. We have 4 player segments, and they'll come and visit with us, and some do both. And when they get to us, sometimes they've been to the main media gathering, and sometimes they have not. But when they get to us, it's a lot more difficult to talk about a defeat than it is about a win. But Will, having been in that position as a player for 4 years in the program, can identify with the guys. And it kind of, helps them kind of decompress a little bit and relax while they're in a commercial break or something like that before we come back with Roger and myself up in the booth asking the questions. So that's kind of what that's all about. So anyway, we had that going on, but that's another one of those signposts that we're getting close to football season. And here we are, basically just 30 minutes less than 72 hours to kick off. That's one way to look at it. It is Wednesday afternoon. It'll be Saturday afternoon at 2:30. So we're just past 3:00. So it's a little under 72 hours to kick off. Now, we've had countdown by days in the 90s and 80s and 70s and 60s. Now it's 3 days, but it's actually inside of 72 hours to kick off right now as they'll take on Colorado State. Of course, you can hear it all right here and all of the ancillary programming that leads up to it as well. Like, for example, Longhorn Weekly with Coach Sark. You'll be able to hear that tomorrow afternoon at 5:00. If you want to be there in person when we record the show, that's tonight. It's this evening. It's at 6:00 at Pluckers at the West Campus location at 2222 Rio Grande. So if you want to come out for that, that's fine. The program will record this evening and then we will air it tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. Normally it'll be at 7, but it'll be at 5 tomorrow because of the 7 o'clock game for the Round Rock Express.
Don't the kids call it live to tape, Craig? They call it live to tape.
Yes, I think so. And
you can have a laugh track and have an applaud track.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you can help me with this because you just used a phrase that one of my co-hosts of the television show that I do every Friday, High School Scoreboard Live. Greg Tepper, the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, who joins us each Tuesday on the program. He was on with us yesterday. He's one of the co-hosts. The other one is Erin Hardigan. And she is more than just a pretty face, and she has that, but she's more than she's been covering high school football for the better part of 2 decades and knows the game and knows the coaches and is very, very glib and affable and funny, and it's a great bounce off of host on things. But she uses the phrase that you used from time to time. The kids say, fill in the blank. The kids do this, and I'm like, what kids? Where are these kids? Not
on your lawn, Craig. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so they can get off of it, right? No, as the old man goes out and shakes his fist at the clouds. No, but I like that phrase. The kids say yada yada, that sort of thing. And I'm thinking, what kids? But she can turn a phrase. That's one of them. The other phrase that she's taken a liking to, other than calling me Boom Pa on the air from time to time, because that's my grandfather's name. For my grandkids, it's Boom Pa, which my dad had my kids call him, and it originates from the old Jimmy Stewart movie, Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation, where the kids are calling him Boom. Why does he keep calling me Boom Pa?
It's a good Jimmy Stewart impression.
Thank you. She, in addition to that, she'll say the other thing. If there was a play that worked perfectly, she'll do the old chef's kiss. And do that, which has become a popular phrase, I know as well. So anyway, that's on Friday. I'll go up there and I have a game to call Friday night as well. So I'll be up in the Metroplex to do the show Friday. And then we'll call the game between Lubbock Cooper and it's officially called Lucas Lovejoy in the UIL. Up there, they just knows it as Lovejoy. Like, statewide, they think of Westlake as Austin Westlake or Converse Judson. San Antonio is just Judson. In Austin, it's just Westlake, that kind of thing. So it's Lovejoy up there, which is near Plano. And the game is significant in that it marks the return to the sidelines of the immortal Todd Dodge, who was the head coach for the three-peat at Westlake, state championship, had a three-peat at South Lake Carroll. He's won 7 state championships overall as a head coach. So he's just 2 off the all-time record of 9. And not only that, he is the only coach in the history of Texas high school football to do a three-peat at 2 different schools. You think about that. And at South Lake Carroll, he had players like Chase Daniel, who I think is still plying his trade in the National Football League. Greg McElroy, who's now in the ESPN family of networks. He had both of those guys as quarterbacks, as well as his own son, Riley Dodge, who's now the coach at South Lake Carroll. And Todd had left to try it at the college ranks. It didn't work out in North Texas. He came back. He had 1 year at Marble Falls, did a good job. And then, of course, got to Westlake and just took him to the highest of the high points, 3 consecutive state titles. Retired, stepped away from him for 2 years, but his grandchildren are up in the Metroplex where Riley and Riley's wife have their kids. So Todd was 2 years away from the game and then decided, I still want to coach, but I want to be near the grandkids. Lovejoy wound up being the perfect opportunity, a 1 high school community town at the 5A Division II level. So there's no chance he'll have to match up with his son in the state championship like he did in 2020 and beat him head to head to win the state title. So that'll be Friday night, and then we have our first scoreboard show of the year on Friday night there on Valley Sports Southwest. So anyway,
sounds like you're busy this week.
A little bit. So these are all these mile posts that I'm pointing out here. These signposts, these mile markers that lead up to the college football season. Now, you asked me during the break if I saw much Boston of the game in Dublin between Florida State and Georgia Tech, and I did. And I said, and it can serve as a rueful reminder of being ready for the season opener, that kind of thing. Because sometimes a coach may think his team is ready and they're just not, or things just don't work out, or for whatever reason. The nice thing about the 12-team college football playoff, and I'm definitely down with that, but the nice thing about the 12-team college football playoff is one really bad performance like what Florida State did doesn't wreck the season entirely. And in the past, it might not necessarily, but it would put a huge dent in it. You pretty much had to be almost perfect the rest of the way.
20 years ago, the BCS, this would have ended the season.
Yeah. When the Longhorns lost to Oklahoma last year, they knew they could not lose again and make the playoff, or even realistically have a shot to play for the Big 12 championship. They had to win out, and they did, and that got them into the playoff as well. There's a little more wiggle room now. It's 1 through 4 get byes in the first round, and then 5 through 12 are playing. So 12 would play 5, 11 plays 6, 10 plays 7, and 9 plays 8. And the higher seeds all get to host games, which I think is cool, having those on the college campuses. Then the 4 teams that got bye mix in with the 4 winners of those games, the quarterfinals. That's when the bowls come into play. And then the semifinals. I think the semifinal sites are the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl. And then the championship is after that. The quarterfinal sites are the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and I'm leaving one out. There's another one, but Sugar Bowl. Those are the 4 quarterfinal games. So anyway, you have more life if you need it afterwards. But you're spending a lifeline if you lose a game to Georgia Tech to open the season, and that's what Florida State's having to deal with. All right, coming up, we're going to hear from the head coach of the Colorado State Rams, Jay Norvell. That's next here on Sports Radio AM 13 Under the Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Your Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone show hosts are looking good. Want to know how we
break things or not?
I know when I'm supposed to take them.
Because
Sometimes
the
I'm
Hard
just
Knocks
finishing
Life
it
and
to
the
the
Craig
finish
White
line
Show
on
have
the
live video streams, Faces for Radio, and
email
the
those
digital
texts to me
screen.
as well?
It's main
Jay
event
Norvell,
time.
because I'll use
Find us
3
on
or
Facebook
4 of
at
them
AM
in my
1300 The Zone.
that I use for the network pregame. Now that football season is here, I could just hear the sound of folks sinking comfortably into their lounge chairs and their couches, ready to sink into several months of uninterrupted bliss. That is, if you're happy with your home entertainment setup. If you're not, it can really put a damper on your football enjoyment. And our friend Tom McKay at Audio Visual Consultations understands that. AV Consultations is one of the largest dealers of most television and audio brands. So the chances are they're going to have or be able to get whatever you need for the entertainment system you have envisioned. You don't have to shop for the TV and the surround sound, not to mention all of the mounts and equipment needed to make it work. Tom and his guys will handle it. They'll bring over everything needed for your space, and they'll set up all of it for you. Tom is also going to work with you and help you get the system you want while staying within your budget. So why not deck out that man cave or den or room where you and the family can spend that quality time with hours of entertainment? Give Tom McKay a call at 512-255-8678. That's 512-255-8678. Check them out at avconsultations.com. Let Audiovisual Consultations help you realize the home entertainment system of your dreams.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. One of these guys will get into the game.
For some, soccer is just a sport, but for those of us who are both 100% Hispanic and 100% American, it's a passion that we live at 200%. That's why Buchanan's is there, proudly matching the energy of all Austin FC fans. From the stands of our stadium to our home, Buchanan's Blended Scotch is the official whiskey for all of us who give it 200%. Enjoy responsibly. Buchanan's 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Diageo, New York, New York. Buchanan's, give it 200%.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Regrow your hair with Happy Head. Visit happyhead.com for 60% off your first prescription order. Happyhead.com. Prescription products require online physician consultation and only available if a physician determines a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details and important safety information.
It's the game's final seconds, and the score is tied. But wait, another trip to the bathroom?
Don't miss the game's best moments because of frequent bathroom breaks. Introducing prostate artery embolization from ARA Diagnostic Imaging, a leader in PAE, a non-surgical treatment for enlarged prostate that helps reduce urgent urination with low risk of sexual side effects. Visit quitthedrip.com to take a quick self-assessment. ARA, celebrating 70 years of leadership.
Did you know that solar energy gives you independence from utilities and helps keep your energy costs down? Why not get a free estimate with locally owned Divided Sky Roofing and Solar? You can get more information at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
I'm in. I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For decades, the mafia had New York City in a stranglehold, but the murder of Carmichael Lanti marked the beginning of the end.
It sent the message that we can prosecute these people.
From the minds behind the acclaimed television series, listen to Law and Order: Criminal Justice System on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart Radio app and search Law and Order: Criminal Justice System and start listening.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
People scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But for us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the influencers, audiences, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie and Hoda Kotb from the Today Show.
It's back to everything season, and everything's happening on Today. So this week, we're going to have the best steals and deals for fall fashions, plus the hottest Amazon bestsellers.
Then Dennis Quaid on becoming Ronald Reagan in his new film, and great live music with Ingrid Michaelson. Plus, Khalid kicks off your end of summer weekend live on our plaza.
So join us every morning on NBC because every day needs Today.
If you're looking for something truly original that captures the one-of-a-kind spirit of Austin, check out my friends at Zilker Belts. Beautiful handcrafted belts and accessories which weave together the best of Texas and South America from a couple of close friends who love our town of Austin, along with handmade craftsmanship from Argentina. You can also show your University of Texas pride with the Texas X's belt and help support your alma mater in the process. As they like to say, community is woven into everything we do. Use code Longhorns for 25% off your next purchase at ZilkerBelts.com.
Fantasy football fans, the NFL season is here, and now's the time to do your homework. The best way to do that homework is to listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Come hang out with me, Marcus Grant, and my pal Michael F. Florio, as we help you optimize your draft strategy to have the best roster in the league heading into Week 1.
For a smart, fun, and entertaining path to winning your league, the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast is the show for you. Listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search NFL Fantasy and start listening.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Just like he asked.
The Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hart, Bull Harsh, and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. only on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone.
Spanish radio? No.
Oh. This is a hip hop. Yeah.
We're back. It's the Craig Way Show with Hall of Fame broadcaster and voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way.
See, I just saw Andrew's face light up because you're more familiar with the hip hop version that sampled that beat, right?
Yes.
From Michael McDonald.
Yes, and behind the curtain, Craig is one of the most, I would say, buttery smooth broadcasters in the business. But the hand gestures, just knocking over my cameras, moving my mics, it's impressive. It's impressive stuff.
Yeah. I'm from Italian descent, so that happens
there. It is.
But yes, Michael McDonald definitely on the Mount Rushmore of yacht rock individual.
Of course, guys. Christopher Cross,
Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins, all of those guys, and then you could add Boss Skaggs.
Okay,
all right. In terms of individual,
now settle the debate for us because we were doing this in San Antonio. Barry Manilow coming to town in San Antonio this Friday, August 30th.
He was in Austin a week ago Monday.
Is he a yacht rocker?
There are a couple of his tunes that would qualify for it.
Okay.
But at his core, he is not a yacht rocker.
All right. So if I don't play him today, you're not going to shed a tear?
No.
Okay.
I would prefer that you do not.
Okay.
Okay.
All
so,
right.
no. Yeah.
It was clear in the air.
No. It's there's a couple of his tunes that fall into that category. Like, I'll give you one. It's the tune that he opens up his show with. It's a Miracle. That one. That would qualify as a yacht rocker. There's a couple of other ones, but no, Weekend in New England and Mandy and I Write the Song. No, that's not yacht rock.
Okay.
That would not fall into the category.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree.
You had that debate with your group?
Well, we had the debate. They were asking, should we be playing Manilow on a Yacht Rock Tuesday? And I said, you know what? I'm going to put my foot down here and say no.
Good. Yeah. Good on you. That's right. Nothing against Barry Mountain. And I went through this whole deal. My wife and I were supposed to go. She got sick. She got bronchitis.
Oh.
She was the one who really wanted to go. In my concert vending days, putting myself through school, I worked a Barry Manilow concert.
So you're not a fan of Low?
No. But I have an appreciation for his contribution to the music industry. I do have that. Not a big fan, but I do have an appreciation. Yeah, it doesn't tear at my inner soul the way Air Supply does. Okay. That I can't get with, but no, I'm all right with that. All right, let's hear from Jay Norvell. Of course, Jay, as we mentioned, is a former assistant coach at Texas. He's now in his entering his third season as a head coach at Colorado State. He had his news conference. Let's hear a few highlights. First of all, his opening statement.
Like every team in America, we're really looking forward to starting our season this week. We've had a good camp, done a lot of things differently than we've done in our preparation. And I'm really anxious to see how that correlates to our play on the field. We've got a lot of experienced players back. We have a lot of newcomers that we've injected into this roster that we've worked hard with this last month in training camp. And I'm just really pleased with where we're at right now. But I'm anxious to get going and looking forward to this first opportunity. Obviously, we're going to Austin to play the Longhorns. It's an exciting opportunity for us as a team and a program. We're from the Mountain West Conference. We're very proud of our league. And for us to take and represent our league down there in Austin is a great opportunity for all of us.
I took two things that I love, dancing and dogs.
Okay, that would not be
to kind of showcase what we're capable of doing.
There, or is it?
We've got a lot of players from the state of Texas. I think we got at least 19 from the state of Texas. Many of our starters are born in the state of Texas, and over half of our staff is either from Texas or coached at Texas. So we're very familiar. We recruit down there a lot. And like most people that have been in the state of Texas or from the state of Texas, to play in Austin and Memorial Stadium is a big deal. So we're excited about it. Our kids are excited about it, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
All right. So there's some opening thoughts for him. Now, when a coach has a news conference, obviously he's going to be asked about his team, but he's also going to be asked about the opponent, especially an opponent like Texas. So the Colorado State media were asking Jay Norvell for some specifics on his impressions of the Texas running game, even with the loss of C.J. Baxter and Christian Clark to injury.
I think we're a work in progress. I think like most teams,
Number two.
really working hard
He's
at
asking
improving
about the
our
run
running
game.
game.
And he's going to talk about
We're
run
also,
stopping the game.
working
He's talking
hard
about the
at-
Texas State
at
run
stopping
game right
the
here.
run.
Oh, I got
That's going to be a big challenge in this game. Texas does a really good job running the football, one of the top offenses in the nation a year ago. And they were the top, Big 12 team as far as defense was concerned and did a really good job stopping a run. So that's going to be the challenge in this game. We know that. I really think every game is a challenge to your team because you're trying to execute a game plan, and there's a pathway to victory in every game. And in this game, that's where we have to go. We have to do a good job holding their run game down, and we got to find ways to be effective running the football. So that'll be a big factor in this game.
Yeah, so how about that Colorado State running game? Justin Marshall had a good freshman campaign, but he only appeared in 3 ball games. That's why he's a redshirt freshman now. How about the Colorado State ground attack?
We want to be able to control the football. We want to get some explosive runs running the football. I think that's something that we feel like is a missing element in our team right now. We played with a walk-on running back all last year, so we didn't have a lot of pop in our running game, and we've got a lot of good players back there now. And so we're healthier at that position. We're more experienced in our offensive line. And let's face it, we were the number 1 passing team in our league, but we need to be better in the run game. So that's an area where we have to show some improvement.
Okay, but back to that Texas ground attack as well, and for that matter, the Longhorn offense overall. How does the Colorado State defense contain, control, limit the Texas attack?
Yeah, and we know that's an important part of what they do. I mean, Sark does a great job with the runs and the RPOs and the different style of running game. We have to do a good job of managing that. We can't let plays get away from us. We can't get big plays down the field. We got to manage that, and there's really no secret to it. It's just playing good fundamental football, and we got to do a great job at gang tackling in this game. I think that's really important. That's something that we want to do and be as a team, and this is our first opportunity.
They'll also have the opportunity to deal with the speed of this attack and what Quinn Ewers brings to the game as well, the speed of that. And Norvell was talking about the challenges that presents.
Just a real experienced quarterback. I mean, he's played a lot of big games there. Texas, obviously played in the college football playoff. Just a quality guy. Seen a lot of tough defenses in their schedule that they play. And he's got a lot of weapons. When you play the University of Texas, you're going to see a lot of speed. Obviously the quality of high school football down there is outstanding. And they basically get their pick. And so they're going to have speed.
8
and, we got to be smart about how we handle that. They have a lot of home run hitters. We can't give them a lot of at-bats. And so we got to be smart about that. We got to contain that the best we can. But he certainly has a lot of weapons at his disposal. And we got to manage that throughout the game. They're a good football team. They're going to make plays, but we got to try to manage that the best we can.
And that means also finding a way to prepare properly for Quinn Ewers and for that Texas attack.
It's really hard to say with the new game, first game of the year. It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You're not sure what you're going to get, but I mean, they have good players. I mean, we know who we're playing. We're playing the University of Texas. We respect what they've done. But, like everybody, they got to go out and play. We have to go out and play. And it's really a measurement of how far we've come in camp and in the off season, and our execution. And, it'll come down to, like most games, is who executes the best will have the upper hand. And so they're a challenging outfit now. I mean, they score about 36 points a game a year ago. They hold their opponents to about 18 points a game. And so we gotta throw a wrench into that somewhere. We got to find ways to score more, and we got to find ways to hold them down to what they've been used to. So that's the challenge of the game. That's why you play the game, and we've been preparing for that.
Okay. The other thing he was asked about, do you have like a dream scenario game plan that you can employ for this matchup?
I mean, my dream scenario is the same every week, is for us to execute the game plan. And this game plan might be different than the week after that or the week after that, but it's still our plan, and it's what we design as coaches and what we feel like we need to do to win the game. And that changes from week to week, depending on the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. And so, we've had a long time to game plan this game. We're anxious to play it, and I'm excited. Our kids are bouncing around, excited to play a game. They're tired of hitting each other, and we're excited to get our first opponent.
And that first opponent will be in Austin. So how about getting his team prepared to come to Austin, Texas?
We've been training our kids that since we got here, and we're going to play in a great environment. It's an opportunity to play a really good football team in a great environment, and we should look forward to that. But it's not so much that we're playing University of Texas as we're playing a team that runs split zone and RPOs, and that's what we're playing against. We're playing against the schemes that they run, and we have to do our job versus that. And I think we have a more mature team that understands that.
All right. And then the one other thing, he kind of alluded to it a little bit about the possibility of heat, although we could have some rain on Saturday. What about playing in the state of Texas, where he has so many players hailing from the Lone Star State?
We recruit the state of Texas, and Texas kids love coming to Colorado and love the mountains up here, and had a lot of success. I mean, we all have a lot of history as coaches. I coached there. I coached at OU. I was in the Big 12 for most of my career and played against the University of Texas a lot. So recruited down there for years. Our kids are excited. When you have kids that are from the state of Texas, they've been looking forward to going down there and play their whole lives. So, that's just what it is. That's college football, and it's a great thing about it. Our coaches are excited. We got a lot of coaches that have coached in the state of Texas. Matt Mummy's from San Antonio. He's never coached at Texas. And so, Bill Bess, we got a lot of coaches that aren't from Texas but have coached in Texas. And so it's a big deal to get a chance to go play there. And I recognize that. And that's just part of what we get to do in college football. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity and excited to get out there and play.
All right. There's some thoughts from Jay Norvell, the head coach of the Colorado State Rams. We'll have more coming up when we continue here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Need a pregame spot for Texas versus Colorado State? Come out to the Hook'em Hangout on Bevo Boulevard for Longhorns Game Day, the official pregame show of Texas football with Cameron Parker, Mike Harge, and Mark Henry.
We're going to have so much fun breaking down this game. You never know who you're going to run into either. And they also have great food on that campus, and I can't wait to sample all of it.
Coverage starts at 11:30 a.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone on the iHeartRadio app.
Oh, ready? You want to do this?
On your mobile phone and take us wherever you go.
Let's go.
Like to your kids' soccer game, the PTA meeting, your local sports bar, and the trip to pick up your dry cleaning. Just download the free iHeartRadio app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is going to be fun.
And search for AM 1300 The Zone.
It's going to be good when you guys move to that 2 to 4.
Hi, it's Sandy. Yep. And when it comes to getting a new car, you got a lot of choices, right? There's places all over the place, but I'm going to save you a bunch of time by telling you the one place that you can go to get any make and any model, trade the car in that you have, and have a monthly payment that's perfect for you. That is Apple Leasing. You can call them. It's 346-9977. Again, that's 346-9977, or you can go to their website, which is appleleasing.com. I'm not kidding. You can get any make or any model that you want. You want a Ford? They've got it. You want a Chevy? They've got it. Porsche, Toyota, Hyundai, you name it. Apple Leasing will get it for you. And when you lease that car from Apple Leasing, the payment is often a lot less than if you were to buy that exact same car. So call them today, 346-9977. That's 346-9977. Or do what a lot of people do. Start with their website, appleleasing.com.
And Doug. Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating!
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
And welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks. Which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
For some, soccer is just a sport, but for those of us who are both 100% Hispanic and 100% American, it's a passion that we live at 200%. That's why Buchanan's is there, proudly matching the energy of all Austin FC fans, from the stands of our stadium to our home. Buchanan's Blended Scotch is the official whiskey for all of us who give it 200%. Enjoy responsibly. Buchanan's 40% alcohol by volume, imported by Diageo, New York, New York. Buchanan's, give it 200%.
It's the game's final seconds, and the score is tied. But wait, another trip to the bathroom?
Don't miss the game's best moments because of frequent bathroom breaks. Introducing prostate artery embolization from ARA Diagnostic Imaging, a leader in PAE, a non-surgical treatment for enlarged prostate that helps reduce urgent urination with low risk of sexual side effects. Visit quitthedrip.com to take a quick self-assessment. ARA, celebrating 70 years of leadership.
Thomas J. Henry is a proud radio broadcast sponsor of the University of Texas Sports. If you were seriously hurt in an accident, it's important to act fast. Call Thomas J. Henry Injury Attorneys. Available 24/7 nights and weekends. San Antonio and Austin, Texas.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out. Please text the two letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
AM 1300 The Zone occasionally holds contests. For more information about contests on this station, go to am1300thezone.com/rules.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
The Twin Liquors dollar sale is almost here. We drop the price on all wine and spirits to the absolute lowest, then at $1. It's how we say thank you to our customers. Don't miss the dollar sale this Thursday through Saturday, only at Twin Liquors.
Hey, y'all. This is Jenny Burkholz running for Texas State Representative in House District 52 for the November 5th general election. Have your voice be heard. Make sure to register to vote today. Your vote counts.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hartball Harge and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Back to the Craig Way Show. Connect with Craig through the text line by texting Texas to 81530, followed by your message. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Now, this is a duo that there can be no argument whether or not they belong in yacht rock. Hall & Oates are definitely yacht rockers. A lot of their catalog would be yacht rock worthy, including this one, Kiss on My List for that. By the way, it's unfortunate. They're one of the bands or partnerships that does not appear in any way, shape, or form interested in reuniting.
Yeah, no, that's tough, man. Like you and I, we love to get together, and we don't even have a hit record. You know?
Yeah, right. They supposedly they had a very uncomfortable parting of the ways and decided, we don't need to get back together. One of them, I think it was John Oates, was asked, do you foresee any kind of possibility? And he said, well, never say never, but I'd say probably never. He said he seemed pretty certain that they were not going to get back together. So anyway, the NFL season, of course, kicks off a week from tomorrow night with that Thursday night game. Chiefs-Ravens game. Then there's the Friday game in Brazil, Packers and Eagles. And then on Sunday, when the vast majority of the rest of the NFL is in action after that. So, and then the first Monday night game, I think, is the Rams and Lions. Well, that's a Sunday night game, is Rams-Lions on that one up there. But teams are still, even though they had to get down to the 53-man roster limit yesterday, they're still making some moves. The Cowboys have signed Dalvin Cook. He'll be on the practice squad. Of course, the 53-man roster already has Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Hunter Lepke as in the backfield. But he had to work out with the team, and all apparently went well. Now, Dalvin Cook, of course, had his most productive seasons when he was playing for, if I remember correctly, your favorite football team, the Minnesota Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings, that's right.
And what's the background on that? You originally from Minnesota?
You get grandfathered in, right? My dad's from Minnesota, so he's passed that curse on to me to be a Minnesota sports fan. It's a whole story, Craig.
Yeah, somehow that didn't work with my kids with me being a Rams fan.
No, they didn't take it with them.
I've got a son who's a Cowboys fan. He actually was a Jaguars fan as a kid, and then, and then changed to the Cowboys. Then I got another son who's a Packer fan, and he actually liked the Titans when Vince Young was there, when he was younger, and then when Vince was out of it, he was out on Tennessee.
He's a Vince Young fan,
right?
Yeah.
2 daughters. One, I don't know that they have that much abiding interest in it anymore. One daughter was a Dolphins fan. The other was a Bengals fan.
Just all over the place.
Yeah.
The Craigway household.
Like I said,
just a ton of different jerseys.
They did not follow and I always said I was not going to twist anyone's arm to become a fan of a certain team. Like I'm a Dodger fan in baseball.
Yeah.
I have one son who's the oldest one, a Royals fan, but it makes sense because he actually worked in their minor league system as a videographer for a few years before leaving their minor league system for a job at KXAN, where he's been the past 6 years.
But for the Longhorns, you say, hey, this is what pays the bills. This is what put foods on the table.
No, they're all on board with the Longhorns.
Okay, good.
I'm Major League Baseball. The younger one is a Red Sox fan, and that's because the first 3 baseball teams he played on, I think 1 T-ball and 2 coach pitch teams were both Red Sox.
That's how
all
they get
3
you.
were Red Sox, yes. My current wife is the only one that I can say that I proselytized into becoming a Dodger fan, but taking her to 2 World Series will do that.
Yeah, that helps.
She got to go to a couple of World Series games, one in 2018 and then during the pandemic in 2020 in Arlington. We had really good seats to see Kershaw, pitch really well against Tampa Bay. So she's become, and she is all in on Dodgers. She watches it with me. She watches it when I'm out of town. I tell people this is when I knew I married the right woman, when I got a text from her going, I don't recognize this rookie in the lineup playing shortstop tonight. Stuff like that. And I'm out of town. She's watching it. So that's why I say that. But Dalvin Cook, of course, now has signed with the Cowboys. And of course they got the deal done with CeeDee Lamb. So maybe things have calmed down a little bit, although I think a lot of Cowboy fans are waiting to see if the next shoe is going to drop. Is Jerry Jones, after he stops breaking his arm for patting himself on the back for getting the contract done for CeeDee Lamb, as you heard on that podcast he did with Clarence Hill. And he, will he get something done with Dak Prescott? Will he get something done as well, to get that thing taken care of? Will he get something done with Micah Parsons? Will he get those contracts done? I don't know about that. How are you feeling about the Minnesota Vikings with Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback?
You remember Darnold when he played for the Trojans. He played the Texas Longhorns at one point. I enjoyed Darnold in college. I thought he got a bad shake in New York. I didn't do so great in San Francisco, but I'm putting my eggs in this basket, Craig. This is one of those seasons where I feel like I'm going to be watching a lot of Red Zone and trying to not pay attention to what the Vikings are doing.
Well, I got Justin Jefferson on my fantasy team.
I was going to ask if we play fantasy football. Do you have time for fantasy football?
I'm in the same league that I've been in since 1999, since you were 2 years old.
Yes.
There's only, out of 10 of us, there's only 3 who are still original owners from that first year. And I wasn't real crazy about my draft, even though I do like having Lamar Jackson. I'm not real optimistic about my season.
So I was in Austin on Sunday because we had our big fantasy draft party. We're in a keeper league. We're in a dynasty league. So you get to keep some of the players year over year. And I'm feeling pretty good. Lost the championship last year. I restocked, retooled. I feel okay. I feel good.
Who did you keep?
I decided to keep Josh Allen, Jamar Chase. I had a couple of good moves. Bijan Robinson's on my team, Longhorns. So I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay.
I could see where you could.
Didn't get Xavier Worthy. That's the only one where I had some missed. I got picked 2 picks ahead of where I was.
Yeah. I wanted to and would have taken CeeDee Lamb had he been available. But then he got scarfed up after. Now that was after I took Justin Jefferson. I wanted Jefferson instead. And CeeDee was not tied up yet. His contract had not yet been done.
So you're a Justin guy over CeeDee. I've been on this bandwagon for a while.
Either or.
Okay.
Either or.
1A, 1B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with either. And I had Jefferson last year, but I didn't get to capitalize because he was hurt. most of the season.
So your chagrin and mine.
Yeah. So hopefully, and then same thing goes with, the Rams as well. At Cooper Kupp, and when he was banged up, of course, it made Puka Nacua big, and I was able to pick him up.
So your kids aren't Rams fans, even with the greatest show on turf?
No,
really?
No, and I even took him to a couple of games. Nope.
Wow. All right.
Nope. They have their own thing, and that's fine. I've never tried to force my fandom on any of my family because mine's kind of all over the road anyway. I'm a Mavericks fan, but I like the Spurs as well. One son is an Oklahoma City Thunder fan because it goes back to Kevin Durant being there. The other one is a Lakers fan, and that started with Kobe and then LeBron.
Well, speed dating for Zimmel. If you're a Vikings fan out there and you're good with heartbreak, I'm good for heartbreak too.
There you go. That's the way to do it. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Need a pregame spot for Texas versus Colorado State? Come out to the Hook'em Hangout on Bevo Boulevard for Longhorns Game Day, the official pregame show of Texas football with Cameron Parker, Mike Harge, and Mark Henry.
We're going to have so much fun breaking down this game. You never know who you're going to run into either. And they also have great food on that campus, and I can't wait to sample all of it.
Coverage starts at 11:30 a.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Interspace Caverns in Georgetown. Interspace Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting saber-tooth zip ride or pan for gemstones. Take the wild cave tour or the hidden passages tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Interspace Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Interspace Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at interspacecaverns.com. Interspace Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
It's back to everything season, and everything's happening on today. So this week, we're going to have the best steals and deals for fall fashions, plus the hottest Amazon bestsellers.
Then Dennis Quaid on becoming Ronald Reagan in his new film, and great live music with Ingrid Michaelson. Plus, Khalid kicks off your end of summer weekend live on our plaza.
So join us every morning on NBC because every day needs today.
According to NHTSA, a new car crash is reported every 56 seconds in Texas. Thomas J. Henry handles serious auto accident cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
Phones aren't wired to the wall anymore. We carry them in our pockets. Cars can even drive themselves, right? Technology advances have changed our lives.
That's football legend Emmitt Smith.
Some of the most fascinating advances are happening with the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. I'm talking about natural regenerative treatments for joint pain without surgery or harmful drugs.
Tens of thousands of patients have discovered these breakthroughs firsthand at QC Kinetics. With over 100 board-certified providers across the country, they're transforming the world of pain treatment using your body's own healing properties to help restore your aching joints.
Why would you keep going back to the old tired ways of treating chronic joint pain? Check out the latest advances at QC Kinetics. And here's an idea for you. You can call them on that smartphone right there in your pocket.
Call QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303. That's 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
Have you boosted your business with Lenovo Pro yet? Become a Lenovo Pro member for free today and unlock access to Lenovo's exclusive business store for technology, expert advisors, and essential products and services designed just for you. Visit Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro to sign up for free. That's Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro.
Lenovo.
Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, and you're having a good time.
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
What seems to be the problem, my dehydrated damsel in distress?
The problem? Seriously? It's so hot brown is the new green. It's so hot I cut the pants off my pantsuit. It's so hot squirrels are icing their nuts.
Simmer down, melting maiden, for Specs wines, spirits, and finer foods will frost your flute with a shiver-inducing selection of ice-cold cocktails and frigid fermentations. Everything from frozen mixers to hundreds of ice-cold beers and the chilliest of chilled Chardonnays. How feels the Ice Queen now?
Specs' Arctic abundance of chilled choices has transformed this lady's Hades into a Siberian soiree. I need to raise a glass just to stay toasty.
You certainly put the zing in freezing. And with Specs low prices, you'll have plenty of cold hard cash to keep you warm. You're welcome. Specs wines, spirits, and finer foods. Cheers to savings.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KVET AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music. It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hart, Paul Harsh, and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. We're back. It's the Craig Way Show with Hall of Fame broadcaster and voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way.
Well, we head toward the top of the hour, and just to update folks a little bit on baseball as well, the Astros, who had really been on a roll and had built as much as a 5.5 game lead in the American League West on Seattle. Now, remember, this was after they had trailed by as many as 10 games. Seattle held a 10-game edge in the American League West back in mid-June. And then the Astros turned it around and got it going again and actually passed them, got up 5.5. But of late, they've lost 4 of their last 6. Some of that is opposition, dealing with the Orioles and now with the Phillies, who have won the first 2 games. However, in the top of the 4th, in the finale of that midweek series, the Astros are up 1-0 in that contest. The Rangers, by the way, are having to play a doubleheader today in Chicago against the woeful White Sox, who are a frigid 70 games below 500. They're 31-101.
I never thought there'd be a team that I could say is one of the worst of all time in my lifetime, and this is one of the worst teams of all time.
Well, here's to put it in perspective for you. They're 31-101. They need 9 wins. 9 wins to just be tied for the fewest wins in the current 162-game format. The Mets played 120 games in their expansion season, 1962. They had 2 games rained out. They went 40-120. So they were 80 below. Right now, the White Sox are 70 below. The Cleveland Spiders of 1899, who later became the Indians and now they're the Guardians, went 36-117. They have the fewest wins in a full season, but that was only the 154-game variety that they carried all the way to 1961, and they played 153 that year and went 36-117. That's the benchmark for the fewest amount of wins. And then in the full season, it's 40-120. Well, they're 31-101. And even though the Rangers have had their struggles of late, I like the Rangers' chances today in a doubleheader. They're a guaranteed rate field there in Chicago. Folks are taking to calling it guaranteed defeat field there. But they have to pick up a game that they started last night. They threw exactly 4 pitches and had to shut it down. So they're going to pick that up in about 10 minutes, start that. Then they're going to play a full game. It'll be a long day in Chicago, win or lose on that. Okay, done here for hour number 2. And I'm going to be headed over to Pluckers at 2222 Rio Grande. If you want to come out for the show taping, our recording of Longhorn Weekly, our season premiere with head coach Steve Sarkisian. That starts at 6 o'clock. Are you okay with this final hour here? Flying solo here?
You're going to give me the wheel?
You take it.
Papa's going to let me drive?
You land the lunar module now. You take care of the limb. All right. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock with Cameron Parker. Thank you, by the way, Andrew. Andrew Zimmel for the 4 o'clock hour. Coming up here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KDET AM Austin, AM 1300, The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music.
Siberian soiree. I need to raise a glass just to stay toasty.
You certainly put the zing in freezing. And with Specs low prices, you'll have plenty of cold hard cash to keep you warm. You're welcome. Specs wines, spirits, and finer foods. Cheers to savings.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Regrow your hair with Happy Head. Visit happyhead.com for 60% off your first prescription order. happyhead.com. Prescription products require an online physician consultation and only available if a physician determines a prescription is appropriate. See website for full details and important safety information.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know that solar energy gives you independence from utilities and helps keep your energy costs down? Why not get a free estimate with locally owned Divided Sky Roofing and Solar? You can get more information at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music. It's the Morning Kickoff Show with Mike Hardball Harsh and Mark Henry. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. And we're back to the Craig Way Show. Have a message for Craig? Share it by using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app.
As we wrap up a Wednesday edition of the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone and on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me as we flew through the last hour. It always flies by. It's crazy how fast time flies when you're filling in for the one and only Craig Way. So game time this Saturday, 2:30 kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Craig Way, of course, will be on the call as the voice of the Longhorns. And the Longhorns open up as a ginormous favorite against the Colorado State Rams. Now, I've been telling everybody who will listen that this is not the type of team to sleep on. It's going to be a good night, or not a good night, good afternoon. It should be a fun time at DKR as the Longhorns open up their season. Again, kickoff 2:30. So I honestly might say it's good that we might have a little bit of cloud coverage. And I know people not exactly thrilled with the idea of rain and humidity, but again, I would take that every day of the week over the potential chance of clear skies and 110-degree heat, right? Look, I won't be on the air with Craig or Cam leading up to this game. So I guess I will be the first person, because I know Mike and Mark aren't going to give you any sort of preview, or no, I should say they're going to give you a preview of the game. They're not going to give you any predictions for this game. I will jump out in front and say that this is going to be the first time this season that the Longhorn faithful and fans see Archie Manning. I think this is the year, or this is the game that Longhorns get up big in the second half and start putting in some of those backups. We can see a couple of walk-ons, maybe a couple of transfers, get some playing time. Texas 48, Colorado State 13. That is your prediction from yours truly. Coach's Show tonight, Longhorn Weekly, happening at Pluckers. That starts just in about what? Yeah, 2 minutes, 5 o'clock. That's right. We're almost there. That's crazy. Happy Hump Day as we've worked our way to this point in the week. Craig and Cam will be back again tomorrow to get you 24 hours closer to kickoff. We're under 72 hours away from the start of the 2024-25 college football season. Football's back. Doesn't get better than that. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and keep listening. Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone, and Craig Way Show podcast on the free iHeartRadio app. We'll see you on the other side.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music. And here's what you need to know.
San Francisco 49ers general manager John Lynch just told reporters moments ago that he expects hold-in receiver Brandon Ayuk to return to practice